I love that so much.
It was one of her lines that she used in the video.
Okay. Now we're on the stream.
Okay.
Hello.
There we go.
Hi, guys.
Hi!
Everyone.
Welcome to TPK, guys. Last week, because I don't have an opening joke.
Good.
Because you are an opening joke. Oh, that was mean. That was mean. I'm sorry.
He's the DM, don't do that.
Oh, yes,
You open
guys
the good
know that I
names
take
just
on
dead on the
God.
floor.
And we'll just put that down as another.
And God
100
smushes
health
you
points
beneath his heel.
character.
I've already been like struck by God, so I'm not afraid anymore.
We know.
That is my line, and I will live with it.
Everyone knows.
Oh, you think that's the worst he can do? That's not even close to the worst he can do.
Anyway.
Dumb ways to die.
So last we left off, the party had befriended a local storm giant by the name of Operon, who had been outcasted from the royal family as he would not murder his puppy. You guys found out that the current king, Azir Khan, has been hoarding some knowledge and keeping it from the people for some reason. In an attempt to hopefully find a way home and maybe free a populace of giant kin, you have snuck into the palace of the Storm Lord of the Skies. You are in the throne room. A huge, just impossibly huge room where across from you, hundreds of feet away, is the giant's throne. You have the good berry go with you. What do you do?
Who's driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vonthorn is.
I think we should just kind of go around the edge.
Yeah,
Black
I
Knight's
think
on top.
Vonthorn and then
Black
away
tie.
there.
Naaman's on top.
yeah, Naaman and Vonthorn were in
Wrong
like
campaign.
the driver's seats area together.
Wait for the Harry Potter campaign for that one.
Yeah. I thought we were using Pathfinder for that one, by the way.
Yeah, Pathfinder would suit that better.
Much better.
Anyway, I am driving, so where are we? Are we just going towards the edge? Like, what do we see? Is it like a lock?
It's a big
Or-
empty frickin' throne room.
It's a throne room.
Well, I would have.
Is the throne like across from us?
Think kind of like, for those who have played Kingdom Hearts, think kind of like Mickey's throne room, but if it was Viking themed.
Okay, and for those of us
It's a big long room with a red carpet going all the way down it and a throne at the end. It's basically it.
All right.
It's
Big
very bare bones, but
With
it's
giant chair in the back.
yeah, it's a big long hallway with a big old giant chair in the back. There is a carpet that you guys are currently standing on.
Is there any
it's a giant
columns?
carpet, but
Yeah. I thought we were being carried by
Okay.
one of the other
No,
giant.
remember the
You-
giant
we had
person
been
put
placed
us
inside
in
the
throne
door.
room
Oh,
and then
okay,
left us
alright.
there.
Alright, okay.
and then he closed the door because he can't abandon his post.
So, thinking we should just go along the edge.
Yeah.
The very,
Sure.
very edge of the room, slowly, until we
Yeah,
get
I'm
closer
down
to
for
the
that.
throne.
The edge of the room is about 300-400 feet away.
We were just placed down inside the door. We're right by the edge.
Right. So you're here by the door. Then there's the edges of the room about 300 or 400 feet to either side, and then about
Yeah.
600 feet that way is the throne.
Up.
So it's
We
a
could
big
just
You
long
go
hallway.
like
So if
mice
you're-
forward.
along the wall.
Yeah. So to do that, you'd have to
Yeah,
go about
but we don't know what's
200
there.
230 feet, 200, 300
Like
feet. this
giant
way,
rats that we
and
have to
then go
disguise
all
our
the way
cart
this
has.
way. And the throne is in the center of the room. It's not like up against the wall.
We're far away from it right now.
Yeah.
Go along the edges until we get closer.
Okay.
Been thinking about this all week.
I'm glad one of us has.
It's the safer option, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and stealthy.
All right.
Like a mouse. Here we go.
All right. So you just drive the Goodberry along the edges of the room, then.
Mm-hmm.
While we
I'm
While
keeping
we're
watch
doing
on top
that-
of the wagon.
same.
Yeah. And while we're doing that, I just want to eye the ground looking for traps, like if I can spot anything.
So you're
Yeah.
probably in the front with Esmeralda then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be in the front with me.
That's going to make. Okay, that's going to make it take longer because then you're moving at walking speed and not at the cart speed. Because in order to do that,
I'm just gonna sit on the cart and just look.
Right, but in order to actually like look and investigate for traps, you have to be out in front of it, like actually investigating.
Another thing to note is that you also don't have dark
I mean-
vision, and we probably it's going to be
But I
really
do
dark
have
in
dark
here.
Vision.
Yeah.
I have dark vision.
Yeah, but I was like, if there's traps, they're probably much bigger. They're not going to be tiny little traps for us, probably.
Unless it's a giant
They're
mouse
probably
trap.
bigger and they'd be easier to spot.
We
Yeah.
already established that they don't
Just wanna keep an
exist.
eye
Don't put that into fruition.
Yeah, they don't have
I
mice
swear.
here.
Oh, I
Okay.
have dark vision.
I also have dark vision.
So do I. Which is why I'm driving.
Is Annalise.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
I
well,
need a
Colleen,
bucket,
yeah.
and I'm just
She's
going to put it like a
underwater.
fishbowl over my head.
All right. Make a perception check then, if you're not actually doing an investigation.
Can I help her? She's sitting next to me.
Yeah, sure.
I also have dark
wait.
vision.
Well, I was going to say, because
Roll-
me and
am I getting
Von Thorn are
advantage?
actually keeping an eye out. We could assist, but
Yeah, we could assist as well since we're both.
Dude, should we
on-
all
Sorry.
just roll?
Yeah.
oh,
We could all roll.
Let's just all roll.
If that's okay.
I'm
with
waiting
you,
for the DM to give the
Yeah,
okay.
if that's okay. Yeah.
Since Annalise is the one that said it first, she can roll with advantage.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Elf.
All right.
Okay.
So
That was with advantage.
the cart's moving at its usual speed, and you guys don't run into any traps. Annalise doesn't see anything like on the horizon coming up or anything. You do notice that some of the stones are a little off a bit. They don't look like traps so much as just wear and tear of a stone-tiled floor. Some of the tiles that make up the stone are a little bit higher than others, and like so. It's a good thing that the Goodberry is still in all-terrain mode because it's kind of climbing over like if you've ever seen those videos of like rock climbing trucks and stuff. That's kind of what's happening right now. And you
Yeah.
move along the side of the wall, and you come up along, and eventually you come up along the long one. It takes about an hour, 2 hours to get to the part of the wall that is directly perpendicular to the throne, that is closest to the throne. But you still got to travel across the room to get to the throne itself.
Just want to look around, make sure there's nothing else that we're not seeing. And we're going to have to cut across.
Okay. So that takes you about another 30-ish minutes. And you make it to the throne with no real problems other than just the tiles being uneven.
Right. Do we see anything that would like?
Didn't he say it was on the back of the chair he had seen something?
Yes, we saw it behind the throne. He was hiding.
Yeah,
from
so we
the
should look
brother.
there.
Yeah, so we'll
Alright.
make our way through the back of the throne.
All right, so you drive around the throne, and you come around the back, and there are large glyphs all the way up the backing of the throne on either side, starting at the bottom of where a leg would be, but it's a throne, so it just sits flat on the thing, all the way up around the edges, and then there's this beautiful, like, wavy calligraphical piece. It's not an actual rune, but, like, there's these lines and that curve and bend, and some of them turn into flowers, and some of them
So
turn
kind
into,
of like a
snowflakes.
sigil?
No, it doesn't look magical at any of any kind. It looks like it's just a design, a very pretty design.
Does it look like it's telling a story?
Can any of us read the language that it is in?
It is in Giant, so Von Tharn can read the runes that
Oh
are
yeah.
there.
What do the runes say, DM?
They are. They seem to be magical inscriptions, and they're only partially in Giant. Another part of it is a language you're unfamiliar with, unless anybody speaks Primordial.
Right.
I speak a lot of languages, but not that.
Nope. I have Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Giant, and Leonin.
Oh, I want more languages.
Longzhao, Zemnian, Dwarven, Elvish, and Common.
Abyssal, Celestial,
I'm
and
in
Common.
Merfolk and Elvish.
All right. So
But again, like, it also makes sense for our characters. It's like, oh yeah, the language of
Mm-hmm.
primordial beings.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
right?
That would've been helpful.
Maybe. Yeah, I know, right?
What you can make out is they seem to be magic runes of some kind, some sort of magic inscription. Make an Arcana check.
Who? Oh,
Von
just
Tharn.
Von Tharn? Okay.
Ooh,
What is it, babe?
It's a bad face.
Is it? I know that is a bad
that's
face.
probably like a 2.
I got a
a 1.
spell.
Ooh.
Oh, I got a spell though. It's
Oh
okay.
no.
So you're
you
sitting
forget
here-
stuff.
I am more distracted by how pretty the design is.
Yes. You walk up and you're like, oh, it's Giant. I speak Giant. And you walk up in front of everybody that you've just met, and it suddenly hits you.
It's
I don't know any of these people, and I have just made a spectacle of myself. And you kind of like freeze up, and like you just forget what's in front of you for a minute. You get a little bit of stage fright.
Social anxiety. I get it.
That like mental
I don't
paralysis
know.
of not knowing.
Okay.
You studied for this test, but now all the information is just gone.
No.
Yeah. But you do manage to get that it is some sort of magical enchantment that you know it's what's the word I'm looking for? I think it's transmutation in nature. I think.
So I turned to the rest of the group after taking a look at it for some time. I also kind of figured that because of the height that these runes are at, it probably takes Von Tharn a little while to actually like see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after a little bit, Von Tharn turns to the group. So these runes, while not all of it is in Giant, most of it is basically transmutation magic inscribed on
Let me
this.
just double check the transmutation thing.
Yeah, the description.
Kind of want to poke it.
I was going to say, if we poke it, does anything happen?
Not yet.
Because I kind of want to poke it as well.
I kind of want to just slap my hand on it.
Oh, please, no.
Yes!
Yeah, it is.
Do it,
transmutation.
do it!
I'll grab you if you try to poke it without us deciding.
And David will be like, haha, I help her poke it.
Hey,
Take her hand and...
either something will happen or nothing will happen. One way or another, this plot's moving forward.
Did you say
Sometimes
Von Tharn?
there's such thing as being too cautious.
Probably not a good idea to be going and poking things that we probably shouldn't, that we don't know everything about yet. We don't know if it's safe.
Yeah.
Does she know
There's
what
a-
it says yet? Like, does she actually know the words? Or was that part of the Arcana check that she...
It's less about the words themselves, and it's more the
Yeah.
individual meanings of each rune. That's part of the Arcana check. When it comes to like enchantment runes, it's more about the combination of runes and how they stack together to create a spell, rather than the actual words that they would make.
Or otherwise, at least recognizing the kind of intent that
Yeah.
these kind of runes represent.
So, like, she could read the individual runes, but
So,
it's
if she
basically
read it aloud, could any of us, knowledge and arcana, actually understand it?
Well, if she read it aloud, it would be like she'd basically be saying shoe, bowling pin, chair, stuff like that. Like it would be total gibberish out loud. The runes
Basically,
themselves
it would
mean almost nothing. So like it's the combination into each other that while weaved into a magical enchantment, that is what makes them what they are.
kind of like how Norse runes work. When you look at the literal translation of a Norse rune, it's very simplistic, but when you put them together and you actually go through the meanings behind them, that's where you get a lot of how rune magic works in real life.
By the way, fun fact, the Bluetooth symbol on phones is actually a Norse rune for Edgar Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yep.
But by her description, these are glyphs solely meant for transmutation, not like a trap of any kind.
Yeah. I mean, transmutation can be a trap of some kind. But...
Taking a look at the runes again, can Von Tharn infer what kind of transmutation magic, or...
I'll tell you what, because that was a fucked up roll, I'll let you make one more Arcana check, but the DC is gonna be higher.
Got it, boo.
Watch if she gets a nat 20.
Did you get another nat 1?
No, I got a 6.
Okay. Is that total?
I don't know what's going on with my dice today.
Is that total?
We don't have
that one
tab.
again.
It's because
So
we
it's
don't
6
have
plus
Colleen.
what, though?
So on the dice I rolled a 2. My Arcana is +4. Yeah.
That's
You
terrible.
rolled a 1 and a 2? Oh my
Oh my
god!
Yeah.
You didn't do the pre-game rolls. You gotta wake your dice up.
No,
Yeah.
I never
No,
did
it's,
pre-rolls.
That's
Now
stage
you give
fright,
me
man.
19.
I tell you this, you gotta roll them beforehand so that they wake up. They have been sleeping for about a week, if not a little
Right,
shorter.
okay,
I don't know.
Dude,
how
this is
often
the
you use
first
them.
time you've told me this. This is first session you have ever told me this.
I think we talked about it last session.
Anyway.
You
Anyway.
did not.
So yeah, that stage fright, trying to perform in front of a group of new people that you've never met, and you just like walked up in front and said, "I know what I'm doing," and then you immediately regretted it.
Right. Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna cast...
Because I'm no use here. Can I look around on the floor, see if there's
Tamarine's,
anything like
eyes glow a little
on
bit,
the
and you guys
floor?
see a glyph sort of appear in her hand
Sure.
for a second. And she goes, "Velale captionen," and she's going to cast reveal traps. One trap.
No traps.
So
Oh, reveal
Yeah,
traps. I thought you said reveal abs, and I was like, what?
David just goes, whoop!
I wrote them all in Latin. So. Anyway, I sense the presence of any trap within range, which is 120 feet, within line of sight. Dark vision.
There
trap for the
are no
purpose of
traps
this.
within range.
Awesome.
But anyways, roll an investigation check for me.
Okay.
Reveal abs when you force Naaman to finally give in to the request of the other ladies besides Von Tharn to get naked.
And Puck.
Hey, for the good of the good berry, some sacrifices have to be made.
Natural 19!
How, like, every campaign I'm in, my guy is so attracted to the point where everyone's just like, hey, we'll throw this character at some type of person, hopefully good charismatic things happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happens
I
all
got
the
a
time.
natural 19, so
Alright, what's the
plus
total?
a investigation,
Yeah.
so that is a 24.
Nice. With that roll, you look around the throne, and you're standing. You're standing on one of the tiles, and you're looking around, and you look up at the throne, and then you decide to look down at the ground where you're standing, and you look around you, and you are in this tiny, like, little clearing type area of
Like a scuff.
of the, like, kind of, yeah, like, you look behind you and there's this little tiny pile of, like, of
Rocks.
like rock
Dust?
and, well, at this size it wouldn't be dust. It's like more like pebbles and stuff, the things that you've been, like, avoiding on your way here. So they're like little scrapings off of the stone that you're standing on a little bit, and they form
kind of like this chair moves.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. Am I the only one that can't hear her? I can't.
I tell the party all this. Like, I think this chair is.
I can't
Annalise?
hear Maddie.
Oh,
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Same. I'm
You
able to
can?
hear Maddie just fine as well.
Yeah.
Fine, give me a sec.
So, Annalise points this all out to the rest of you.
Mhm.
There we go.
What do you guys do?
I'm going to take a look around the chair to see if there's any, like, witches or anything like that can maybe activate the chair movement to go along with these scuffs.
All right. How do you go about doing that?
So basically, when Annalise says this, what Bonthorn is going to do, she's going to look at where Annalise is pointed to, and then she's going to start walking around this throne, and just to see,
That's gonna
and
take
basically
an
look.
How
If it
high
takes
is
some
the
time.
armrest on the throne?
Oh, good, like 200 feet up.
I was about to say.
It's a fucking
That's
giant
a-
chair, dude.
So
Yeah,
two
but
of us
giants are
split up-
that big. Well, I
so-
guess now in
so
your
two of
universe,
us
yeah, they
should
are.
split
I
up
don't know.
to go around opposite directions of this throne to see if we can spot any sort of trigger mechanisms to see how this chair moves.
Maddie, do it.
probably.
Do it.
I
Do
will
it.
say at
I
this
just
Do it.
time-
run over and I slap the runes.
Yeah!
Okay.
I've lived a fairly good life.
Oh,
Wait, can
No,
I'm
Annalise
so
even
proud of
reach
you.
the
Yes.
runes?
Yes!
But can Annalise
Like
even
if I
reach
stand
the
on top of the
runes?
good berry, like.
yeah, I mean, kind of. So
If you ask
walk up
David,
and
he
just,
can
like,
just
kind
jump
of
up
touch
and
the
let you
chair,
slap it.
and a warm feeling spreads from your hand, and you guys see this shimmer spread out all over around the chair, and
Made something happen.
the
Yes,
chair
it did.
itself then and begins to slowly move forward. Underneath reveals a ramp hidden by the chair at an
No.
incredibly steep angle.
I was about to say.
I'm not saying I'm the MVP of this particular moment, but I'm the MVP of this particular moment.
I mean, high rolls figuring out what this is before anyone else. Yeah, no.
I noticed the floor and I touched the thing. I'm winning. Is this...
You practically pulled a DD, but you did not destroy everything in the process.
Hey, I thought about it for a while. I didn't immediately do
put
it.
it
Honest, she
out
pulled
in the
she
universe.
pulled Nathan, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'll let you do it. So proud.
Anyway,
I put thought into it.
so
Well,
there
that
is a
still
ramp.
doesn't. Yes,
Yes.
that's an
Um,
additional problem.
It's a very steep ramp.
Yes.
As the chair
This
moves
steep
forward,
or like
Like-
what kind of steep?
steep that a giant could walk down it, but for you it's going to be way steeper.
So we could probably ride the wagon down it by slowly by putting the brakes on it and just slowly go down. Possibly.
Possibly.
I would say it's a one-way trip.
Well, we don't. The problem is we don't know what's at the bottom, and so we
We
don't
don't.
want to go splat into like some shit because we literally just had Garland have heart attack. Tried
Yep.
to fix the front, I don't want to turn
you
it
will be able
into
to get back
splinters.
up, but it's going to be a lot slower than going down.
Yep.
I mean, that's fine.
Like it's not so
Put on the
steep like it's a
brakes.
sheer cliff. That like doesn't make any sense. But it is like, and you see the throne move forward just a little bit, and then part of the stone that the floor is sitting on also like moves up and then moves forward again to like allow what you would assume would be space for one of these storm giants to walk down there. Because otherwise there wouldn't have been space. And so they like sort of carefully would have gone down here. Like it would have been kind of steep even for them. For you guys, it's going to be real steep. So you guys drive the Goodberry down into the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to be
I say we
careful
should.
with that, though.
I
We're
vote
gonna be
yes.
Careful.
Yeah, we go slowly, put on the brake, and
Mm-hmm.
try not to crash.
I'll do that.
All right. So riding the brakes on this all the way down, it takes you probably about an hour or so. To
Okay.
get all the way down.
Press for time.
During this time, if we are taking this hour, Von Thorn would be getting back on top of the wagon and keeping an eye out for anything that would possibly be in this little tunnel already.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Is there light in this tunnel, or is it just black?
It's pretty black.
I mean, like I can cast light, but no, I don't want to do that right now.
That's
Unless you really need it.
I don't know what is up with my rolls tonight.
It's
Crazy.
very dark in here. Even with your dark vision, it's like there's not really anything to see. It's just kind of blackness in every direction. But you guys are going slow. You're moving your way down the tunnel. For the sake of expediency, we'll just skip to the end of that. And you guys eventually come to a large open doorway with where there's light on the other side. Seems to be torchlight, and it seems to be magic torchlight. And there are huge shelves going all the way up to the ceiling, with like 120 feet between each shelf or more. And like these are giant bookshelves. It seems to be a giant's library of some sort.
Oh man, Fonthon must be like ecstatic.
Can I read the spines and see like what language they're in?
They are all in giant.
Okay, so we have no idea what book we're even looking for here.
Nope.
What are you?
Would you like?
Von Thorn actually lets out a bit of a chortle as she sees all these books.
Well,
Is all her fur just standing on end?
Calm down.
Her ears are wiggling vigorously.
All right. Well, if you can try to your best to spot out any information in this library that could benefit us, that would be lovely. And she gently touches your shoulder, and you have a little glow on your shoulder for a second. Apose adese, and you have guidance.
Wait, so can we see all the bookshelves and whatnot?
Everyone who has dark
is it that
vision,
dark?
I
They're
guess.
giant bookshelves. You can see them.
So how tall are each shelf? Like, what's the height on each?
Yeah, what's the height from like the lowest one to us on the floor?
From the lowest one,
We're like that tall?
kind of, yeah.
So,
Yeah, about there, actually.
Okay.
Are there any?
so could Naaman, if he
torches?
jumped, could he actually reach to the second shelf?
Not the second shelf. Well,
Like
he could
from
probably
the first shelf to the
climb
second
himself
shelf.
up. No.
Are there any torches in this library?
Well, there's the magic ones.
Yeah.
Because what I was thinking is that we get Esmeralda to put glow or that light on Naaman, and Naaman actually jumps up to the second shelf, so she can, or so Fonthar can actually read the shelves.
I can do that. Yes.
What book are we looking for again?
We don't know.
We're looking for anything pertaining to, I guess, like
buildings or how buildings are actually structurally made.
Yeah, I guess architecture, like the history of how the castle was made, or anything that has to do with relations between. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say relations between like the surface world and their world, because they had a way where they like communicated with each other at some point.
Or basically how their teleportation circles, if they had one.
Yes, that's what we need.
If there are any reports, if you see a name in Dillion, that might also be useful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw like that earlier in the bookshelf that we were just outside of.
Oh. Well, I mean, like, I'm sure there's a copy.
Probably.
It's basically like a copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales.
I was about to say, that's probably what it was. It was a children's room.
It seemed like it was a copy of one of the fairy tale books.
Alright, well, hopefully some sort of a journal or biography might also be nice. Give us some factual information.
Especially if we can figure out any of the books having been dated or anything like that.
That's true.
A lot of this... So these are bookshelves, but not everything on the shelves are books. Some of them are actually bound books. Most of them don't have titles on them. Some of them do, on the spine, but most of them don't. They look more like very crudely bound, early attempts at making a book. Most of what's here is scrolls stacked on the shelves, and tied off together.
Oh, so we actually have to maybe knock down some scrolls. Great.
Well, how about this? There's still like an open like doorway, sort of, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
In this room, like there's the books that we're currently seeing, the torchlights, and the open doorway. That's I assume darkness behind it because we can't see.
Basically, yeah. I mean, like, the light extends in there a little bit, like, but...
Yeah. Someone can either join me or not. I'm going to go in there, and she points into the darkness, to see if there's anything else I can find of importance. Maybe some sort of symbol, or...
Well, we should probably stick together if we're gonna do some searching.
Yes, but we have...
Probably not a good idea to split up right
This place
now,
is too big for us to split up.
The problem is that we have to do this quickly. We've already spent several hours here.
It is too big for us to split up. This is not something that we would usually do in a normal adventure.
We also
this is way too large, so we need to stick together here.
Yeah. Like I know that we're in like an underground hidden spot, but even when you're in underground hidden spots, there's usually somewhere where they keep their uber special secret stuff, and this random bookshelf kind of doesn't feel like it. Right, like, is that all that's in this room? It's just, that's all that's in here is just the library.
You can't tell. It's a giant's room, and the bookshelves go floor to ceiling.
Okay.
We also don't know if there's any, like, guards or anything that
I doubt the guards, but we don't know if there's any other types of beasts that live down here, because there are many types of things that would live down here, like bats and stuff.
Well, we don't know how big they are.
Exactly.
Can I do an investigation to see if there's, like, a hidden trick to the things? Because it kind of feels like you should be able to pull a thing and then a thing will come out or something.
If it was against the wall, maybe.
Like, just so I could see it, like...
Some of the bookshelves are against the wall, but, like, they're off to the side. Again, on, like, another 200 feet that way.
I don't think I'm asking the right thing. Like, I want to see if there's a place that looks like it's very special, or a book that looks like it's very special.
You're looking for a secret entrance in the library.
A secret entrance in the secret entrance. Got it.
Or a book that looks like it's, like, gilded with all the secrets. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, we'll say, for the sake of things, everybody make an investigation check. Since that seems
I'm
to be
giving
one of your
myself
races.
guidance, and also Vonthon, you have guidance.
So what does guidance do?
You add a
Whatever
D4
your
to the
roll is,
reroll.
you add a D4.
Ha
16.
Perception, you
18
said?
plus 5.
No, investigation.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
So that's a 23.
23.
And D4. 20.
Wait, guidance goes at 3 people, doesn't it? Or is it just 2?
No, it's only like as many person as I touch. It's a touch spell, so I have 20.
What am I
Okay.
thinking of then?
I have
Bless?
I think you're
Probably.
thinking of
total
8
Bless.
Neiman, what was
of
your roll?
10,
plus.
even
And-
with guidance.
Wow, oh my god.
Naaman, what was your roll?
16.
Okay. So, I'm considering this a group check, and you guys are well above the curve. So you guys kind of spread out a little bit in this one sort of like alleyway of books, and some of you like climb up, get up on the shelves, and Naaman uses his ring of jumping to sort of like get a little bit of more height and maybe like see like kind of on a trampoline. You know, it's just sort of kind of thing.
And he's also lit up like a Christmas tree, so he's like,
Yeah,
boing,
yeah. So
like,
it's just this
I
like
kinda-
bouncing fucking fire like
yeah.
flea walking around this goddamn giant library.
Looking like Jiminy
Um,
Cricket
I
from
meant to
frickin'
ask this
uh,
earlier. Could Von Thorn like hop on top of Naaman's back to jump with him so that way she
Yeah,
can
yes,
translate?
yes,
Yes.
If, if you did that, it would be like half the height. Because
Okay,
you're
well,
taking another person
As
with
long
you,
as he
so-
can get Von Thorn high enough so that way she can at
Take
least
a read.
take a good glance at it before coming
Yeah.
back down.
That's smart.
Sure, why
Yeah.
not? So yeah, like, you see books. Some of the ones that do have spines, some of them say things like some of them are things like how like the Stormcaller's what's the word I'm looking for? The Stormcaller's weapon. Some of them are things about like you get the gist. A lot of this has to do with magic and the casting of magic.
This seems to be more of a magic section.
Let's go to a different area then.
well, do you see anything that pertains to what's the teleportation?
Anything
yeah,
with the floating island?
Nothing
Anything
particular.
for
Again,
teleportation or
most of these books don't actually
transmutation?
have. Most of these books don't actually have writing on the signs. So the ones
then
that you
we might
do
have-
see, yeah.
Well, then we might have to go into that extra area in that case.
Well, this is just one area of the entire library.
Well, I mean,
Like this is one section of the
doorway.
library, which is the magic section. This
So
is a big library.
You guys move through this particular alleyway of books, and you get to the other end of the room. And on the other end of the room, you see a large tapestry covering an entire wall, and then off to the side, you see another ramp going down. The tapestry itself, Von Tharn, you pick up most of this. There's a lot of storm giants seeming to be in battle with something, but like the bottom half of the tapestry is burned and ruined, and you can't really see a lot of it. What it is the giants are in battle with seems to be completely obscured, but from what you can tell, they seem to be losing.
Can I use prestidigitation to clean it up a bit to try to get a better look at what it is?
It's a giant tapestry. You would be able to clean a fucking dot on it. Maybe. Like
If I had the time, I could clean the whole thing. It's a
It would
cantrip.
take
If I had
days.
the time.
It
I
would
was
take
going-
days.
I was going to inquire, I guess, from player to player, did you prepare enlarge?
Sorcerers don't have the ability to prepare spells.
Right. I thought you were a
Wizards
wizard.
do. No.
I know. I'm sorry. I was like, wait,
Sorry,
wizards have that.
I don't have the ability to prepare spells. I either just get taught them or they just come to me. Sorry.
Right. No, I mean, it's not your fault, dear. I was just curious.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. Better to ask about it than assume.
Yes.
I'm the only one who can't use magic, you friggin' show-offs.
You have the pin
Mom
of
just taps Naaman on the head.
everything.
She's still piggybacking.
That was given to me by God!
Exactly.
Oh, you poor baby.
Oh, you poor thing. Seriously, I had to work for years for my spell casting with my deity, and you just get a pin of everything from one instance where you met a god in person. Boo-hoo.
Von Thorn pats Naaman on the head because she's still probably piggybacking him.
It's okay, Naaman. You still have some pretty awesome equipment, especially that ring of jumping. That's really cool.
I just bought it, though.
It's still really cool.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, so you guys, do you guys want to take time to
We got a
inspect
loving
this
cat.
tapestry more, or do you guys want to?
I will.
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep.
Go ahead
And I will give
roll
myself
a
guidance again.
Investigation check.
Actually, can I do possibly
Damn it,
a
16
religion
again.
check on this?
Ooh, not
What?
as good. That was a 10.
What's that, Ryan?
What did you say?
Is it possible for me to do a religion check on this?
I mean, there's not really
Oh.
any sort of religious iconography here.
What about history?
History, maybe?
No,
It would
nothing
probably
that
be
either
the
of you
sa-
guys would really know. But as an
Okay.
investigation
All right.
check,
Okay, that's fair.
you
Investigation.
guys can see like, well, I will say Von Tharn can make a history check. Von Tharn can.
I'll give you guidance, Von Thorn. I'm giving myself guidance, but it don't matter. I got a 6.
That is a total
Total.
of 20!
But the
With your
D4?
guidance?
With the D4!
Yay!
Okay. So you have family that are giant kin, not giants themselves, but related to giants.
Basically
Goliaths.
Goliaths.
So you know a bit about giant lore and giant, sort of
Mythology?
not mythology, sort of culture.
Okay.
You do know that hill giants tend to be more tribal in nature, less conventionally intelligent than their other kin. You do know that many of the more intelligent, quote unquote, of the giant races tend to be natural casters. They tend to have innate magic within them. Storm giants in particular have the ability to call and throw lightning. None of the giants on this tapestry are casting.
This is kind of odd. Normally, when depicting storm giants in general have innate abilities of casting magic. This tapestry is not depicting any storm giants casting magic.
In the time that we've been here, have we seen any storm giants cast anything?
Probably not.
You guys have been here longer than me. I've only met Sekon, and I didn't see him use any magic either.
We haven't seen anyone here use magic.
Right? Like, Ryan. That's right?
As far as you guys can recall, nobody has the keen
What
mind
if
feat,
the knowledge
so-
of magic is also being hoarded away as well from everyone?
But why? And also, I'll be honest, I've been having very irritating thoughts about this whole thing, and it's not leading me good places, so I'd rather come to some sort of a conclusion before we leave.
Maybe it's a hatred towards magic this king has.
It's sounding more like he has a hatred towards everything.
I wouldn't say that, but at the same
Sounds
time,
more like
it
he
sounds like a
values what
point
you can
either
do
way.
with your own hands, and he thinks magic is a crutch, or he can't do magic, so therefore he won't let anyone else do magic.
Or he's
Basically,
scared
the
of
whole, "If I
magic,
can't do
and
this,
he's
no one can do
condemning
this."
all magic.
Yeah.
Who
What
has
if-
the highest intelligence
what if they're-
score?
The highest
if-
intelligence? Not
Probably
me.
Von Tharn.
So my intelligence score. Are we doing just the stat?
Yeah.
Because I have in my stat chart it shows 15 intelligence.
I have 14.
I have 16.
13.
Oh,
Holy shit.
All right. In
Awesome.
that case,
Annalise.
Annalise, make an intelligence check.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Well, remember what Sir Khan said about the story of the
that's a
Endilians.
16?
16 plus 3, so 19.
Nice.
Woo!
So you're looking at all of this building, and you're thinking about something Operam said about the structure of the castle and the construction of it, and thinking about the village and how all of their houses are all falling in on themselves. And it all kind of reminds you of your home, where a lot of the buildings are constructed using magical means. And it hits you. This castle cannot stand without some sort of magic keeping it up.
Magic was used to build this thing. This entire castle.
Well,
It has
we
to have
already
been.
established that.
No.
Well,
I mean, that would
think
make sense for its size and everything.
and why I can survive in this floating island with these freezing temperatures.
And
Why
strong
just the
winds.
castle?
Oh.
Well, if we think back on how far back the I guess traditions were lost, maybe those other houses were
Saikon
built
said about
after the
12
castle?
I think Saikon said about 12 generations.
About 100 years.
Was that
yes.
right?
It's about 100 years, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah, wait. Maybe this has something to do with the last time an Endilian came by, because an Endilian came by last time around that same time.
That's why I'm having a very uneasy feeling about this.
That your people, that whoever your ancestor was might have built this place or helped?
No, I think
Or-
he.
The
Or took something.
I have a sneaking suspicion, and I hope it's just my pessimism, that he didn't heal a king. He could have taken away his magic.
how would one go about doing that?
I don't know.
Well,
Is your
we're not
family
gonna...
known for being able to do that?
Nope.
No, but the thing is, it still wouldn't have made sense, especially since if an Endilian managed to come here and survive and land back and continue the family generation, why wouldn't this place have been recorded in my family's history?
Esmeralda. You can question all the time. You question yourselves all the time and question everything all the time. But we're not going to get answers without, checking things out first. So, before you start making leaps, let's see if we can find answers.
We investigate more.
We have
see
to
if we
find
can
them.
find what we're looking for.
There is
We have to
another
find them.
doorway going down
Oh,
on the other side of the room from when you came in.
We have to find them quickly before the pawn wakes up.
And or he finds the throne open.
Exactly.
Mm.
So, I guess
All
we'll
right.
continue to investigate.
Von Thorn's still on name attack. Onward!
right.
So
So you guys
cute.
move through the library, keeping an eye out, and you move down into another chamber of the library. More bookshelves going top to floor, all the way across the room. Enough with alleyways just big enough for a giant to come through and pick off a book and go read somewhere. There are more tapestries. Some of them depicting giants with some sort of magic coming from their hands and boulders and everything, and big like square rocks being placed in like to make a building. Some of them showed the creation of the castle itself. Some of them are there are lots of examples of giants using magic in the oldest of tapestries, but some of the newer ones, not so much. All of the newer ones, they're all burned, they're all partially destroyed, and they're all depicting battles. Some of them have them using magic, but those ones, well, actually, no, there's only one. And that one is the giants in the most desperate situation that it seems like. Like, they don't, this is the one where they are absolutely losing. And then there's another tapestry right next to it, which seems to be the next part of the story. And these giants are now fighting with great weapons and shields, and no magic is to be found again. And again, you still can't see what it is they're fighting.
I've done
Like their
this.
magic was just lost over time.
No, it looks like it's being deliberately erased from history.
Yes.
Make another investigation check.
Everyone?
Whoever has the highest.
Not me.
Is what?
Investigation.
Investigation? That's
Yeah.
an int score, so that will be Annalise.
Unless
Ooh,
someone
not as
is
good.
proficient
Well-
in investigation.
Yeah.
Mine's a 4.
Only passive.
So Annalise has a +5 to investigation. What do you have?
I have a plus-
+4?
You-
Okay. So I'll say Annalise, then yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. If
Can I
somebody
give her
wants to
guidance
assist,
right
I will
now?
say, yeah, you can give advantage.
Okay, so that's a
Yeah, you get
natural.
advantage.
I get advantage. Okay, so that's 5. So that's 17.
Okay. You look up and you see in the tapestry where there's somebody where they're fighting with magic. You see a leader in front of the army holding lightning between two hands, sort of like this like Zeus type figure, but with this winged helmet, kind of looking a little bit like a
Valkyrie?
giant version of Thor.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like throwing lightning like fucking the Greek gods of old, motherfucker. And the next tapestry, it shows him again, but he's leading into charge on a horse with a shield and a sword. So from that, you glean that not too much time has passed between these two tapestries. They're telling a continuous story of some battle.
It's
It seems like they've lost. At some point, they lost their ability to cast magic, but they
Yeah.
still fought, regardless of they're losing that ability. Or, if I'm to guess, they're completely erasing any knowledge of magic and just rewriting history right after.
well,
I think it's more likely the
like
first
they're-
one.
Okay,
Well,
Because
to
if
be
they were
honest,
trying
I'm
to
thinking
change
it's the
history,
second.
why would it be buried down here?
you guys do remember that Opram said that there was a great library that caught fire, and all of these tapestries are burned. So between that, you kind of make the connection that it might not be intentional, or it might be. Somebody might have set fire on purpose. You're not really sure.
When did
These are-
Seikon actually say when this fire happened? Was it roughly around the same time?
Yes.
It was a couple of generations later. So
Later.
technically,
I thought it was.
It's technically it's around the same time, in when you're dealing with numbers that big, but like it was like a generation or two later when the library caught fire, so a lot of this knowledge was lost, and then it was then safeguarded by the royal family.
This is basically just like the remnants of the Library of Alexandria.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of,
Like,
yeah.
it's like the
Any
Dead Sea
remnants had
Scrolls. It's
survived.
all that's left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. But still, it doesn't make much sense. Unless someone's trying to rewrite history to avoid the presence of magic being brought back to Giselberg,
Geislerberg.
Eiselberg.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm terrible at pronouncing a lot of these Icelandic names too. I will fuck this up. I'm relying on Google Translate here. Like,
Oh yeah.
Eiselberg. Still, this doesn't tell us any way that they've contacted or made contact with the world below.
This also doesn't explain why the royal family now has a coming of age ceremony tradition that involves killing their wolves.
Unless
Storm
it's
Sounds
Giant-
like they have some type of trust issue. So
Also,
we need to keep investigation.
I don't know if I don't remember if I mentioned this.
You said that there was a so when Operon was
right.
explaining his backstory, he said that there was a tradition that they had to do that involved killing the wolf pup
Right.
that they were given as children.
Right. I remember that. I don't remember if I further explained that for giants, giantkin of any kind. That's incredibly fucked up.
Yeah.
No, it was just for this.
Oh no, he's
royal
saying
family.
that like killing something that you've been raising, like that wolf, even to giants see that as horribly fucked up.
The giants
so-
are very close to their animals, particularly their direwolves.
Is it?
Yeah,
That
and
is actually a
and
canonic
Hawthorne is trying
like,
to
they
figure
are
out
always,
why there's
really-
this now tradition of doing that.
Is
like-
it a sacrifice?
I don't
But
know.
I wouldn't say
is a
sacrifice,
really
but think
messed
about
up
it. If you were going
sacrifice
to
for the
raise
giants.
something and then teach somebody to raise something with care, with some with love even, and then tell them to kill that means that they might have to make a choice to kill someone they know in the future if they have to be a leader.
Or
It's
it's a
all
it's a
kinds
way
of messed up.
it's a way for them to prove that they're loyal only to the family.
That's also very true.
You
In
do
giant
remember
culture, it's still
Oprah,
really messed up. Like
you
if
do
any of the
remember-
other
Yeah, go ahead.
if any of the other cultures of giants didn't already know about this, if they found out, there would be some kind of, I don't know, at least a
Well,
stern talking to.
it
At
makes
worst
me-
case scenario, war.
It makes me
Um,
think that because the people here, the townsfolk, they don't see that the same way. They see him as the king, which means that they don't agree with that tradition, so it makes me think that it's something only the family has done.
Yeah, which is begging
exactly.
the question: why are they doing that? On top of, if she gestures to everything else, all of this and hoarding all of this information and keeping the townspeople from learning magic.
When it
seems
comes
like it's
to the
magic that's
some
all
types
being
of evil nobles, they have been known to try to hoard information because information or knowledge is power, as you people of magic well know.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, something is gained from sacrifice. What is being gained here?
Loyalty to the family. Knowing that there's nothing that they care about
It's more
more.
like it's gained proof, physical
Yeah.
proof.
Unless
They
Because
are-
nobles do stupid
there's
shit like that.
information missing from this whole thing.
Are you guys still
See,
moving
something
through the
more-
library while having this conversation?
What?
Yeah.
Are you guys still moving through the library while having this
Yes.
conversation?
Yes.
So as you
And
do,
Bob
there
already
are
spilled
more
piggybacking.
tapestries that come into place. One of the least damaged ones out of that series of damaged ones depicting this battle, this war against something, depicts a giant gate with chains across it and a big fucking lock. And that same like sort of leader figure standing in front of it with a sword planted in the ground and this green sort of mist coming up over a crowd of storm giants.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
Is this the
Green
age
mist
of
is never a good
ascension?
sign.
The what?
Can
Age of
Bonthorn
Ascension?
infer
No.
what kind of?
Sorry, the sword is not plunged into the ground. The sword is plunged into the still body of a direwolf.
And green
So
mist
that's
is coming out of the direwolf or the earth?
It's coming out of the sword. So like it's plunged into the direwolf, and the sword is the hilt of the sword is it's more coming out of him than anything else. But yeah, it's being depicted like in a flourish.
Maybe it's a curse.
That's what I was thinking as well.
What, a way to keep this magic keep going for the castle?
No, like a curse
a
was
way
made
for it-
doing this.
This
The
is where
only
the
reason
tradition
the castle
started.
the only reason the castle stands and have magic is because they sacrifice their kin.
You do see that the king himself,
Oh.
the figure in this tapestry, does have a single tear running down the side of his cheek.
They have no choice.
Oh.
Well,
Oh no.
there's only one way. We're gonna have to keep investigating, because I'm not so sure. It might be something that they're trying to keep locked away, more than trying to keep something going.
Like they have to sacrifice the thing they love in order to have even a scrap
Castle
of magic.
stand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Is
the
that really
brother
worth
must have
it?
done it.
That depends.
To
What
sacrifice-
other chances of survival do they have?
If the act of sacrificing something you love is what's keeping this castle standing, on one hand, this is a very shitty thing. On the other hand, maybe the brother had to do what he needed to do, and the resentment comes from the fact that maybe Seikon couldn't bring himself to do it.
Well, the
And-
thing is, Seikon doesn't understand why they have to sacrifice it. That information was lost somewhere.
He did say
And the
that,
order being kept.
that it was a test. It was a test to prove that you can make a difficult decision, the difficult decisions that are required of leadership. Those were his words when you spoke to him.
Yeah, that's what he did say.
It's anything
Yeah,
that
I
makes
had-
you sacrifice love or worth it.
Sacrifice
really.
Sacrifice love for your people.
Well, I say we keep looking for more information, because I think we're just what is it? Speculating?
Speculating, yeah.
Speculating right now. I had a brain fart.
You guys move through the. Go ahead.
Does anyone have any parchment on hand? I kind of want to get some of this written down for Seikon.
I have this in a journal, but I don't really have any extra parchment. Not after the whole thing.
We could probably take a piece from some of these large books.
Yeah. We could tear off some pieces in the
So
corner.
as you guys continue moving through the library, there are now new tapestries. These are less, if at all, destroyed. These ones depict the same king, the same leader, now incredibly ill on some sort of deathbed. And the people are crying and like they're
Warning.
not warning. Well, yeah, they're
Mourning.
Morning.
That's what I said.
And they're mourning, and then there's another tapestry right next to it where this like sort of fairy-like creature in armor that is glowing it places a hand on the head of the king, and another tapestry comes is next to that, and the king is now healed. Then there's a party with these tiny people in comparison to the king. There's this banquet, and there is the king is now placing out a finger, and one of the tiny beings has got its hand on it, kind of like the best way these guys could shake hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is it? The Cathedral of Adam and God?
Kind of, but like
I'm thinking God of War. Like the symbol. Okay.
But and then there's another one where the king is standing out over his kingdom, and the buildings around him are collapsing. And again, he has this sort of mournful expression. And then, and so like this kind of leads you into what you kind of know about the city now. The buildings cannot stand on their own for very long, and even for storm giants who are used to braving the weather, who are used to cold and storms and stuff like that, being out in the elements all the time is not really good for anybody.
Can I, just for curiosity's sake, can I see if there's like a little Darius in the tapestry with the party?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Can I give her advantage?
You can make a separate check.
Make a separate check?
Yes.
There's a perception, right?
Yes.
Not good. I got a 10.
Out of character, I'm loving this investigation. In character, Von Thorn does not know what these two are doing yet.
Does Madi work?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um,
Is there a little
I
Darius?
would do it.
Actually, there does seem to be a hooded dark elf in the little party of tiny people. You also notice that the winged creature in plate armor with this like sort of very holy look about them bears a slight resemblance to Esmeralda. As well as there's a woman in the background with a sort of like tiara like crown on her head, bright red hair pulled back in a bun. She kind of looks like a more battle ready version of the Queen from Shield Hero.
Yes.
Yes.
And like she's just kind of standing there with this like sort of soft smile on her face, or at least as close as you can tell with the fucking tapestry made by a bunch of giants. But yeah, there seems to be a small party of little people. Some of them you seem to recognize.
Does Willow point this out?
I point out
Would
Darius.
Von Thorn recognize any of these people?
No.
Oh yes, that is
Von
Darius.
Thorn's in the dark.
This was a long time ago.
Darius?
Wait a minute.
What
He's
do you
that
mean,
old?
Darius?
Oh yeah,
He
that
is
was a long time.
actually.
Darius
Okay,
is
there's a
funky.
very
Don't
long
remind
time.
me.
Willow is actually that old too. As old as these tapestries, actually. She's like 180.
But like you were a child.
Yeah.
Is this Darius a friend of yours?
He
Of
is.
theirs. We made him
Uh,
once.
He kinda is one of the people who helped found the entire kingdom of Erlan.
He didn't help found the kingdom. He helped restructure it.
Mhm.
He founded the Ranger Corps.
Oh.
He was
So-
offered Grey Cap fiefdom at one point, but he decided not to take it.
So let's see if we got the story straight from these tapestries. Storm giants fought something. Maybe won, maybe didn't. Then killed one of their dire wolves, Green Mist. Then King sick. King healed by an Andillion. Yay. Then King sad.
Well, and then now the town is different than
Right.
the older tapestries.
So
So something happened during that time period
did
where
one of your ancestors, your grandfather or something, or something, or one of your past family ancestors? That's the word. Or
Yes.
Darius like take something?
or was
If
something
I-
that was making the king sick that had to be taken away.
But why
What
would
caused
they be
this?
sad afterward?
Here's an idea. So we pretty much figured out that the only way to make these buildings sturdy is to get the information of magic to the people, because it seems like magic is what's holding up everything. Now, with this history here, I think it would be best to talk to Darius, since it's him that's being depicted in this particular tapestry.
Well, that would be kind of difficult.
None of us
so.
have sanding.
Not to
Yeah.
mention you
Well,
can't get it
actually,
you
Well,
can't
I'm
get it out of
thinking like
Grey Cap anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, there's
the
no
whole
way
reason
to
we came here-
contact anybody right now because Grey Cap is essentially isolated in communications to the rest of the world,
Yup.
well, and
I
so-
with some
believe-
exceptions.
I believe last I heard Darius was headed towards Goldfield fiefdom to defend it. Was it Goldfield or was it a different one? I thought it was Goldfield.
He was going to Lassen because that's
Boston.
that's
You
his
were
current-
going.
I was the one going to Castletown and Goldfield.
So he's headed towards Laston anyway, so there's no way we would be able to get into communication with him.
Exactly.
And
What
there's no
direction?
way to get into contact with my whoever this is.
Are there more tapestries if we go further down?
That
There's
is a
another
point.
pathway down.
Keep following
Just
the
wonder-
storyline.
Or keep forward.
Just wonder
So-
whether this was a sickness or a curse.
So
Well,
what
there are
else
ways
the
you can
tapestries have to say?
Remove
Now
curse
you're-
from someone.
you move down, and now you're no longer in any kind of library. Now it's a room with just tapestries along the walls. It's a long hallway, and at the other end, you can only make it out because it's huge, but there's a gigantic iron door with locks going across it in chains.
So they were probably
I
trying to
told
keep
you.
that thing locked.
Hello.
I told you.
That, kinda
That
looks
is-
like the one
What
that was in one of the
the
tapestries
hell,
earlier.
Willow?
No.
Shouldn't mess with that. We're here for information.
If
What
the
else do
Giants
the
don't want to take it on,
tapestries-
I don't want to take it on. Okay.
What else are the tapestries saying before we get to the door? Because we need to know what kind
before
of
we
door
get to the
it
big
is.
fancy door.
Yeah. What are the tapestries?
Screaming like, "Open me!"
So there's another castle. This seems to pick up where the last one left off, with the king looking on a broken village. The castle itself is now disseminating this green mist over the town, and you see a lot of tradesmen, skill workers. No one's using magic again. And then there's another tapestry where the king is now very old, and he's handing down a crown to another storm giant, a younger one, and there's another dead direwolf. And here you see basically the same image a bunch of times, with one king passing a crown to a younger one with a direwolf, and then you get to the last one where it seems where there's a depiction of Azar Khan, a direwolf, one dead direwolf, and then another living direwolf, and Oparam being like painted in this sort of shadow corner where he's like very much apart from the rest. And that's where it seems to end.
How many
So
of
we're
these
at the door
tapestries
essentially
are there?
by now, right?
What kind of door?
Describe the door now.
Gigantic iron door.
Mm. Okay.
It's this big, fucking heavy iron door. Like this iron door was probably not even crafted by storm giants. Like this kind of thing, Von Tharn would kind of recognize as probably the work of fire giants.
Oh,
This looks like fire
Rickety.
giants' work.
Whoa.
Hey, princess.
So it was probably an actual exchange. They specifically had to get someone else's help to make it. We should open it and see what's inside.
Probably.
You crazy?
Raymond, are you actually making sense?
Hey. I'm ambitious and foolhardy, but I'm not an idiot. Alright?
Well,
That's
is
up
it-
for
is
debate.
it- I mean, it seems more like it's the kind of door you would get for, like, a vault where you keep your really important, not your I'm gonna lock someone in their room kind of thing.
Does this gate look like the gate that was depicted in the tapestry with the sword in the wolf with the green mist coming out?
It looks exactly like that gate.
We should definitely open it now.
No, we should not. We definitely should not.
Is this Esmeralda? Can you detect if this door is actually magical?
I can try. I can cast Detect Magic.
No. It is very much
It is not. It's just a giant door.
Is there
And then
anything?
I just wasted a spell slot. Poop.
Wait,
Oh, well.
can't you detect if there's something on the other side that's magical?
That's if
within a
it's
certain
not.
range.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because how thick is the door? That could be the range itself.
I was about to suggest maybe both Esmeralda and Von Thorn do some sort of Arcana check to see if there's any sort of magic coming like around it, or maybe seeing if there's any more rooms.
So in this hallway, there's no more rooms.
On the door.
Are you guys turning back and going back towards the way you came?
No, well, I don't think so.
Can I put my ear on the door, see if I can hear anything through it?
It is very
I
cold.
wanted to do that too.
It's very what?
It is very cold.
Ah,
Well, can I put it like on the crack of the door, like see
You
anything?
just use your
Can you, like-
hands.
Is there a crack?
Yeah,
in the
like-
door?
You see, that's the thing. That's kind of what makes Von Thorn think that it's giant. It's fire giant made and not storm giant. The iron is so perfectly casted that there are no seams at all.
So whatever was meant to
The door
stay
does
in here,
open, but it's airtight.
whatever is meant to stay behind here is meant to be there permanently.
Yeah.
And is there a lock in the door, or is there a lock like hanging on the door?
There's
chains.
There's chains. There's a big lock connecting the chains. Then there's a series of locks going down what would be the seam of the door.
Oh,
Like this thing is like
okay.
this thing looks like the door of like that scene in like every fucking TV show where there's that one guy with the paranoid apartment and there's like 9 different locks on the door. That is exactly what this looks like.
So,
Okay.
And
Okay.
Annalise trying to
It's-
unlock
it's-
these locks
yeah,
would
okay.
be like Tinkerbell going into
Okay.
the giant locks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
out of
basically.
Curiosity, if we happen to have thieves' tools, hypothetically, could we make checks to unlock them?
You would
Do we
be a
have to go
giant thief.
inside?
Okay.
not
We basically need to
necessarily.
use our bodies
I was
as
saying,
the...
I,
Let's say you wouldn't have
I
to
could
put it
actually-
you
know what?
inside.
I have the pin of everything and make giant. tools.
No, and then like how are you gonna carry it?
When I thought it was just a big door that was like a vault kind of thing, then sure, but this is keeping something
I'm
locked
going
away.
to
Don't
allow it
open
to turn into giant tools, but I do
Damon,
have the
you were doing so
capability.
well. Damon, you were doing so well.
No,
What
no.
did I say about you?
Bonfire
being
was
an
right. Esmeralda was right. We
I
shouldn't
said I have
open
the
it.
capability. Doesn't mean I'm going to
Thanks.
allow it. Remember that.
Maybe.
Um,
I mean,
Von Thorn pats you on the head again because remember she's still pretty much piggybacking you.
All right, and now you go down.
um,
You lost your piggyback privileges.
The moment that you're like, I say
that's
like
fine.
David, you were on a good streak. It's like, oh yeah, no, you lost that privilege.
okay. So
Her ears just kind of flat, just kind of droop.
oh.
So on the one side
That's
of
on
the
you.
hallway, because I need to get back because I got distracted. On the one side of the hallway is that progression of like basically kings being crowned. On the other side, there is a one of the tapestries you do notice is is sort of like 2 distinct images, or at least it looks like it at first because it's cut diagonally down the middle. But it's there's the door is in the center. It's depicted a little bit smaller on this one, but there's the storm giants on one side looking the other direction mournfully, and then there's the party on the other side. And it seems to be like it's depicting like They're saying goodbye forever, type of a thing. Both of them look sad about this, and it doesn't depict like there's any sort of betrayal or anything. But that door had to be closed, and something about that door is preventing them from ever seeing each other again.
Maybe that's what's the secret to getting back down.
Okay, seeing this is starting to maybe change my mind about the door.
Yeah, I changed my mind. We should open it.
I don't know. The problem is that
You can certainly try.
this door was meant.
That's gonna be a lot.
This door was meant to keep from flow of magic. If this is some sort of curse, I don't want it spilling into our home, my home.
Can I look behind the tapestries to see if there's anything there?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Natural 18 plus 5 on my investigation?
Okay.
Yes, plus 5. So, yeah.
Anybody who does like stitch embroidery knows that one side is meant to look like very pretty. The other side
Is
not so much. The other side of this is just, what is that tangled mess of fucking shit?
No, yep. I mean, I'm looking for, like, passageways behind the tapestries.
I know, but there are none.
Okay.
So that's what you find.
Oh.
I was actually thinking you were looking behind the tapestries to see if there was any, like, other images. Like, sometimes people who do tapestry work, they'll actually do a little thing within the stitchings, the back stitchings, to create a whole other image on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, before we decide on opening up, said magical door of who knows what,
we need more information.
Should we try looking into the actual books to see on if there's anything descripting on how to help these houses, or should we just bring all this information back to Seikon?
No, we
should, depending on how much time we have, we should definitely look to see if we can find anything specific on how what kind of magic is being used to keep at least this place up and running.
Yes, because if we can determine the magic, then we can see whether this is a curse or some sort of like a pact that these people made with patron in order to keep this place going. Yes. To what and to whom?
So we head back and go back to the library.
Like this.
Okay. So as you get back out, you now see on the other side of that second library room, there's yet another door going to another room. This one doesn't go down, but it goes to another room. And then there's the room you came back up from, and then there are bookshelves in the way. So what do you guys do?
I'd say go into the other room.
Other room.
And as we're going in, I go to Naaman, and I'm like, Naaman, I know what I said earlier was probably a little bit out of line, and I'm sorry for that also. And I hand him the 175 gold that I meant to give him earlier. Would it be all right if I rode on your back again as we jumped up and took a look at more of these books? And she does like the cat eyes that
and the super dilated dinner plate.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah,
yes.
Puss in Boots.
You're gonna get along so well with Colleen when she gets back. I can just tell.
Yes. Two will be peas in a pod.
Oh god, just cute.
Do you mind rolling a persuasion check?
I figured I was going
I wish
to.
I could give you guidance. I wish I did. Honest to God. Come on, baby.
Is it a natural 20?
Yes, you may.
You know what?
That's the natural 20.
Yeah!
The ultimate piggyback.
That is when it really mattered most.
She's just
Right.
she's just pouring as she's piggybacking now.
The cat begging eyes. All right, persuaded.
Yep. Yep.
I only made the DC a 10.
Anyway, so you guys look, and you guys do kind of get the sense that there's no possible way, even if all of you tried at once, to get one of these books off the shelves. They're fucking heavy. They're literally like the weight of several trees. They are several trees.
Wait,
You're just trying to see if, like, we can figure out which ones there are.
Wait,
No, I don't like this.
wait.
I'm scared.
If
What's
I've
the
turned
idea,
the pain of
Nathan?
everything into something very flat and thin, can I shove it underneath?
That's what she said.
You just call man
Moving
into
on.
that one, Liz. All right.
You guys did say you wanted to go into the next room, right?
I like
Yes.
how he's trying to divert that question.
No, I go ahead, it's fine.
So you guys get into the next room, and this is a laboratory of some sort.
Ooh.
There is a giant tank with some green sort of liquid slushing in it, and the liquid is turning into a green gas that is filtering up through a pipe and out through the ceiling.
Von Thorn immediately covers her nose just in case with like a
It's not
coat.
leaking into the. It is not at all leaking into the room. But you do see these big syringes on the desk that are a different liquid entirely. They're this sort of light blue liquid inside them, and then you see another tank with that liquid in it, but that one's not being like piped in out somewhere.
Can we tell what these liquids do?
Is anybody
Not
here
again.
proficient in alchemy?
Not with the party, apparently.
Mm-mm.
Because if I recall, I think, wait, does she have alchemy? Or was it cooking tools?
No, it was cooking.
Two very different things.
Well,
Herbalism
I
kit.
mean,
That's what she's proficient with herbalism kit.
Herbalism.
Not
Something in
alchemy.
between, but not exactly the same.
herbalism is kind of like cooking.
Well,
Actually, no,
at the
it would
same
be
time,
more
it's
like-
kind of like alchemy too, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah. I wonder if this is the magic that's fueling the castle. Are the
I
tubes
doubt
going
it,
up
because
to
a
the
syringe
ceiling?
would put into a body, so it would probably be
well-
someone experimenting.
This kind of seems more like they made the curse themselves to take away everyone else's magic, and they're pumping it out at low levels into the town.
Maybe they're trying to figure out a way to utilize the magic to keep the castle standing without having to sacrifice the wolves, and that's what those blue ones are.
Well, no, they still want to sacrifice wolves, remember.
They've still been
And-
doing it.
The brother is actually the coin right now, so the sacrifices are still going. So that's definitely not what it is.
Can I look around and see if there's any labels on these things?
The sacrifice is once a generation. You guys know that.
Right.
There aren't any real labels. None of this is labeled. Presumably because whoever works in here knows what everything is. There's not a whole lot of, stuff. There are a lot of, there is a shelf with a lot of ingredients on it.
Naaman, can you hop us over onto that shelf so that way I can read off some of these ingredients to everyone?
All right.
They're not. All right. Go ahead. Make an athletics check.
Athletics?
being nice.
All right. 12 plus 7, 19.
Good enough. So you guys managed to bound your way up onto one of the shelves and look up, and you see there's direwolf fangs is one of them. There is a vial with what looks like a fucking iceberg in it, called permafrost.
Hey!
Uh-huh.
Wasn't that something that was actually like an important ingredient in something earlier?
Yes, that is what's used in
That's
order
ice
to
flag.
fuel that one of those magical items the Goblin tried to sell
Yes.
you.
So,
No, that was ice fleck, not
oh,
Ice
ice fleck.
Yeah.
And
Ice fleck is mithril that has been imbued with a white dragon's breath.
Permafrost, is that a spell? I'm pretty sure that.
It might be. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it.
So I got werewolf fang, permafrost.
Then there's a couple of like trees, small trees.
Werewolf or wolf?
Dire wolf.
Direwolf.
You said werewolf. Oh, yeah,
I heard werewolf
as
too.
well. I was like, what?
I heard dire.
Okay,
I heard werewolf.
You do see like a giant version of an alchemist's kit on one table, and it seems to be distilling two different liquids. One of them is the green stuff. One of them is the blue stuff.
Eamon, do you still have your sending stone?
Yeah.
Maybe your father might have some more information on this.
All right, let's see if he's in contact, because who knows? All right, and I pull out sending stone. Pop, you there? Or can he hear me, or it's a one-way?
It's a two-way.
It's a two-way?
Yeah.
Puppet, are you there?
You both have a sending stone, so you can both hear each other. Nate. Oh. You don't get a reply.
Well,
does anyone
he's
have
not.
any spare
He's
glass
not answering,
vials?
so either something's going wrong, or he might not even hear it.
Might be busy. He's
Possibly.
still trying to repair. What are you saying, Von Thorn, dear?
Does anyone have any spare glass vials? I think maybe, Naaman, if your dad is able to identify these, maybe we should bring some samples back to him.
Again, that would probably be... The thing is that we need to figure out how to get off this floating island, and I can't give it to him until we actually, get off this island.
Still be good to have for when we do get off. If nothing else, this could be help with information to the people.
How big are the green and blue vials?
The tanks?
Yeah.
You could go swimming in them. They're big. They're
Do they reach
gigantic.
all the way to
floor
the top
to
of the ceiling?
Because I could go swimming in
Yeah,
just
yeah,
about a puddle right now. So
Yeah, fair.
Fair.
Like they're like giant fish tanks. That's what they kind of look like. They're reinforced with like steel to keep like the glass in place and from breaking and shit. But they look like a massively scaled up, big aquarium-esque fish tank.
They cylindrical?
Square, rectangular.
There, okay. I take a closer look inside of the glass.
yeah, I have to
See
ask that
if,
too.
Anything going
How
around?
big are these fangs, and am I close enough to pick one up?
of the dire wolf?
Yes.
Giant ass dire wolves?
Yeah,
They're
so
very
Naaman
big.
takes one, and he throws it onto the ground.
Make a strength check.
Did you say that?
20, or is it just a flat strength?
Yeah, just your strength.
All right,
Your strength plus
23.
modifier. You managed to pick up a little bit of it, but no.
Shit.
Yeah, no, that thing is heavy.
Well, we have permafrost and
Like your
werewolf
23
fang.
is the only thing that managed to get you that much. Like
So
there's no way you
trees-
I
can
would
take
help
this
if
up by
I was
yourself.
stronger. I'm sorry, Naaman.
Trees, an iceberg, and a direwolf fangs.
Like there are other
time-
ingredients, but like
Those are the relevant ones.
Can I break off a piece of the fang?
the what?
Hi.
Mm,
Never.
Souvenir.
He's wanting.
I don't even know
Yes.
how to fucking.
A souvenir from we die up here on this island, and then my entire fiefdom is destroyed.
It's
yes?
more aligned. It's an
Lovely.
ingredient, so at the same time, maybe we can actually do something with it. So even just a small piece of it might be useful.
I'm just going to turn my
What
camera off real
kind of-
quick. I will be right back.
Do you have any sort of like
What-
glass files or anything on you, Naaman?
Let's see. I only have the backpack, so probably not. I could probably turn the pen into a flask, but
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
It
wanted
might-
to do that, I'd say you could
might
like
be
shave
an
off
option.
some dust from the thing into a vial.
Well, I was trying to get like chips, like actual chunk
Right,
chips.
but like that's a lot harder to do. It's a tooth. So like you could like shave it down a little bit, like just get some of the dust. But like if you're trying to get off full chunks of it, like that's gonna be really difficult.
Can I go up to one of the tanks, the green ones, and like hide and see if I see anything floating around? As it
I
is.
want to help her
Make a
with that.
perception check.
Can I give her
Uh,
advantage?
Sure.
Because I want to help her with that.
What if I used a hammer?
No.
It's just a tooth.
Take the dust or
Great.
leave it.
I'll take the fucking dust. All right.
The one bites the dust. I was wearing the queen shirt last time. I have to. Okay, yeah, 23.
Yeah.
All right. Most of it is just homogeneous. Like they're not like they're like this has been ground up and turned into a liquid, like, and then it was distilled through the thing. So there aren't like chunks of like these ingredients floating in there or anything. But you get close to it and it feels like something is being what's the word I'm looking for? Lost.
Awoken? Lost.
Yeah, like you feel a sense of loss the closer you get to it.
Like emotional loss or like physical
Grief.
loss?
You mean, are you referring to grief?
No, more like something, like you actually lost something, like you've misplaced something, like something has been.
Mevu. That is French for I don't know, or like I don't know what is missing.
Something.
It's the opposite of deja vu.
So it feels like, is it like the spell in Harry Potter where you suddenly feel like you've lost something, or is it
No.
like
and you
it feels-
actually you don't feel it as much.
interesting?
What I miss?
So
apparently they're feeling something of loss.
So I went up to one of the fish. I'm just gonna describe it as a fish tank. That's Ryan described it
Or
as a fish
actually,
tank.
let me rephrase. Which tank did you go up to?
One of them, whichever one is green.
Okay, then yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's exactly the same.
Can I go up to the
I-
one?
Sure.
I approached the green
Perception.
tank here, the ingredients inside, and the closer I get to it, the more that I feel like something is missing. Something is being lost here. I think it feels like something is missing. Something not added into this equation.
No, it's not
Like-
it's not a sense that something in this room is missing. It's you are missing something. Like something has been taken from you. You
Or something has
personally
been
have lost something.
taken from me.
Annalise feels it, but not nearly as much.
Is it siphoning our magic?
Does it
I did.
Now you guys have to live like me.
Nothing?
It's just
You'll never
I
have
still
to live
only
like
have
this
one
again.
stupid spell that does nothing, so
I'm living off of magical items.
Did you say, Cass?
I had
I'm living
gone
off
up
of
to
pointy
the-
objects.
I had gone up to the blue tank to make
Huh?
a perception check, and
Huh?
I had 23, and there was nothing.
Feeling of no additional
so
feelings.
nothing's happening.
But I
don't
also
know,
collect
yeah.
permafrost.
No, because you can't get into the
This is
vial.
how Naaman dies.
Annalise, Esmeralda, come to the
Eh.
blue one real quick. See what happens.
We go over to the blue one.
The further
feel
away
the
from
same?
the green one, the less you have that sort of lost-like feeling, and you get to the blue one, and it feels fine. Nothing feels out of ordinary or anything.
Oh no.
But maybe this is the result of additional ingredients added to the formula.
What?
Sacrifice the dire wolf fangs.
But
So, like,
let's be
at this
real.
point, I'm gonna say you guys climbed up onto a desk in order to get close to these, because there's a desk in between, and the things are on tables off the floor. Like, you couldn't have gotten to it
Okay.
otherwise. So I'm gonna say, like, you guys are on a desk, like, getting up as close to them as you
I
can.
thought me and Von Tharn are on a shelf, so we're not even near the desk.
Yeah, the two of you are on a shelf that's next to one of the tanks, next to the green tank.
Yeah.
Can
is
I
Von Thorn
tell-
feeling anything next to the green tank then?
If you get closer to it, you will, but you're a good distance away.
Okay.
So, Naaman doesn't.
Probably
Can
not.
Can I tell if
sticking with Naaman.
from the stuff on the table and in the lab, can I tell if what's been in the green tank has been manufactured in this lab?
There is a journal that is open. If you guys want to go up and try and read it.
It's probably in giant, so we're gonna need Von Thark.
Wait, can she read it from where she's at?
No.
Is it just too
I'll
far
have to get
away,
Yeah,
or
it's too
Jump,
far
I'll catch
away.
you.
It's, like, it's at
so?
a weird angle.
But it's giant. It's a giant journal, so maybe that
But it's
bird's
still
eye
at a
view.
weird angle. And writing is two-dimensional. It is flat.
Yeah,
You're
since
on
bird's
one
eye.
shelf, looking up at a table with where the book is on. You're not going to
The
even see
table
the
is
book.
higher up, basically.
Yes, yes.
Hey
yes,
Von
of course.
So
Thark,
we climb
there's a
higher.
journal here. We need you to read it for us. I think it's important. The DM just told us about it.
So-
Naaman, you
Bring in
good
the
to
fourth wall.
hop up?
All right. So how far are we from the tank?
Like, you guys can get across the room and get up on the other table if you want.
Like, could I make the jump or no? Just for
No.
the sake of time saving. Damn it. Then yeah, we would have to climb down and climb back up.
Yeah. So
I
you guys,
think it's worth the climb. We need the information.
you guys move over and
Yeah.
Von Tharn, you get up to the book. Make an Arcana check for me.
Give her guidance before she climbs up.
Okay. Well, when she gets up there.
Yeah, yes.
I like to think that because of what happened in the throne room, Esmeralda is just like in the guidance giving Von Tharn encouragement. It's like, it's okay, dear. It's okay, dear. We're just
Yes, yes. I understand the social anxiety.
yes.
You'll just
Another
get
thing
through
to
it.
Yeah.
add, another thing
Yeah.
to point out as a player, you have fate dice.
Yes.
I have yet to use that, and in watching the campaign in the beginning, I've seen a little bit about how the fate die work. I'm saving that. For if
No,
we
okay, so we
really
get 2 per session.
Okay, 2 per session.
You get to
Yep.
spend
Okay.
2%.
They're not added on top though.
Okay.
It's just
But if you
two you can use.
burn it, you can do a lot more cool things. But then it's gone.
But you never get it back.
You never get it back.
Yeah.
Oh, spending it and burning it are two different things. Keep in mind.
All right. So it was what kind of check?
An Arcana.
Add your D4.
$26.
Woo,
26.
girl!
Damn. All right. So
See.
there are 2 separate sort of like calculations on each of these pages. It seems to be open to these 2 different ones. One of the calculations is it's got a bunch of these ingredients and it lists them all and it tells you how to mix them together to create this liquid. And as you're understanding this, the intricacies of what's involved, you start to understand that this liquid is meant to, in a continuous dose, will remove a person's ability to cast magic.
Is this for the green or the blue one?
The other one, you don't know particularly. It doesn't list a color.
Okay.
But the other one is it depicts another list of ingredients that can, if taken over time, inoculate a person from the effects of the other one. And it
So-
does show a syringe as part of like a sketch in the corner of the book.
So
I have-
Vonthorn is reading these ingredients and the steps out loud to everyone, and she's gonna do this in a way that everyone can understand, because Vonthorn, if she's reading it in plain text, she can understand it, but everyone else may not understand it. So she's gonna try to translate it as best as she can.
Well, if you
So-
want to like memorize the actual potion ingredient, the process, that's going to take a couple of hours. Like you're
No,
gonna have to
she's
sit
just
down
reading
and, like,
that.
It
Yeah,
would be
no, she's just
kind of
reading
akin to a
everything.
wizard copying into their journal.
Yeah, she's just reading everything out loud. And Esmeralda, you still have like your notebook out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's
So-
reading everything out loud, and Esmeralda is basically transcribing like the major notes for
Right.
this.
So
it
So
doesn't
they
say
are-
which color is which, though.
I think
Doesn't
it's
matter.
a bit obvious there. The green color is the one that's siphoning away the magic, as
Wow.
seen from the tapestries.
But most importantly, they're manufacturing it. So first they're creating the disease, and then they're creating the cure.
Yeah, they have the
That's
antidote.
really messed up.
Yeah.
He's keeping away magic from the people.
The people don't lack him. The people had the
Here's
strength to
the thing: is
overthrow
that
him.
do they know that they're being injected?
No,
Like, can it be
because it's a gas.
ingested, or is it strictly to the bloodstream?
It's in a gas. They don't even know that it's happening. They're just breathing it in.
And I think that the current Khan, Archon, might be the only one manufacturing an antidote for himself.
Or
Most likely made from his slain direwolf.
Vonthorn's ears just kind of flatten as she's like thinking about this, along with everyone talking.
wait, which
and-
one is the thing that uses a direwolf tooth in the formula?
I'm assuming that it's the blue one.
I'm assuming it's the green one.
Actually, it's the green one.
Yeah, I knew it.
Ooh.
So the evil deed that's being done is actually what's that evil's fueling this evil fucking concoction. It must be destroyed.
So the green
Yeah.
concoction was fueling the castle.
It's not fueling
Castle?
the castle. It's going through a pipe that is being piped out of this room. You don't know where it's going.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's being piped out.
It can
The
be piped
antidote
out
has
into the
been
people,
made.
the air.
Mm-hmm.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Why would one? The only reason I would think one would poison their own people is so that they can remain in power, regardless of what stance they have against him.
Exactly.
Yep. A lot easier to control people when they're full of fear and powerless.
Or when they're
So, is there a
docile.
syringe of the blue still on the table?
Yeah, there's a couple of syringes.
How
But
big
they're
How
is
huge.
big are they?
Yeah,
They're
like,
giant-sized.
yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
How thick is the glass?
Very.
Okay.
Okay.
How thick is very?
What do you want to
It's
do?
good.
How thick
Yes!
is very?
He wants to break it.
He wants to break it so he gets a little bit of liquidy out.
And
How
do we
thick
have
is very?
extra? And do we have extra vials amongst the party to collect the samples of this?
Damon can turn the pen of everything into a vial.
But then
Which
not
is
be able to
currently
use the
holding-
Well,
big
it is a vial right now because it
Another
has
idea.
a.
Another idea. Naaman, you use your pen of everything to turn it into. Use your pen of everything to create.
I have an idea,
like a jug or
but
something
how
like that.
thick is the glass? I ask again.
What are you going
One
to
of us
do?
could go to the syringe end that, like, where you push down to get the liquid out,
The plunger.
and Naaman using your pen of
The
everything.
thing is
to
that
have
I will
something-
do whatever it is and how thick it is. That is what my decision is being based off of.
Well, then you don't know.
Of course, going along Naaman's
Wow.
idea, we could see.
Okay.
So you're saying that
Right,
nobody
you could
can
test
tell
how
how
thick
thick this
this-
is.
Oh my
I'm
god,
saying
listen
if
to
you aren't gonna
Bonthorn
fucking
for the
play
love
along,
of
then
everything.
I'm not going to indulge you.
You're not playing along. I'm playing along. I'm asking what options I have. So I'm asking
guys,
about the
guys.
environment, and you are withholding said information.
What are you
DM's
trying to do?
decision.
So I
I will
have a
tell
couple
you
ideas.
What you can roll.
The thing
once
is
you tell me
that-
what you're trying to do.
And why? Okay. We'll discuss it after. I am trying to knock it off the table. If
Are you
it's
trying
too
to
big
knock
to
the
move.
whole
It should
syringe
not
on the
break.
table?
It is too big
If
for you
it's-
to move.
Hmm?
It is too big for you to move.
That's not why I asked the question. How thick is the glass itself?
If you're trying to move it off the table, you can't. It's too big for you to move.
I have a
Would you
way.
be able
I would
to
like
break it,
to
though?
know how thick the glass is.
What's the way?
what do you-
Get underneath it, turn the pin into something that turns into a slope to roll it.
Wouldn't that lose the dust of the thing
Yes.
in the vial?
Now that I know that it's actually made for evil intention, I have no reason to keep it.
The plunger is wide. So it's like one of those wide ones. It doesn't roll because the plunger will stop it from rolling.
Are you talking about the part with the where it's like 2 fingers to plunge it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If
So
it's
if
high
you
enough,
try
if the
to
slope is
roll
high
it,
enough,
It's
It
not
will
going
roll.
to roll.
Do that. It will
it won't
stop
roll like
rolling.
a perfect can cylinder.
It's
but
too
it
far
will
away
roll.
from the edge of it. It won't just keep rolling off the table.
That's why I keep changing it and keep doing it as a process.
So another
Fonthar,
idea
you want to
was-
help me push the end of this so I can get some of it out?
Yes, I'm going to
Yeah,
assist
that's what I
you
was
in
thinking.
that.
Another
Okay,
idea
let's do
is,
that.
Naaman, you were
All 3 of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, some of us try pushing the plunger. Naaman, if you want to be on the other side with your pin of everything and turn it into something that can carry some of the liquid, we can push the plunger and get some of that liquid in there. If that's okay.
Oh, if you would, well, wait, no, you're attuned to the pin of everything, so you can only be the one to change it at the
I'll
moment.
turn it into a bucket.
Right. Brilliant.
Thank you,
Alright.
Naaman.
So
We go to the end and
Von Tharn and Annalise roll strength checks.
okay.
I'm helping them.
Oh dear.
Okay.
What is my strength?
Roll another strength check then.
Roll strength.
I got a 16. Plus 2, so 18.
18.
That is a
Oh,
7
God.
for me.
And that's a 10
I have a
for
plus
me.
1 to strength.
Oh.
Okay.
Can I
7,
actually-
18. What's yours?
Mine was a total of 7 in strength.
Right, and Esmery?
Can I help
And
on
in
that?
strength.
Sure. What was it?
I rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
Willow
He's
just
getting
being
it done.
quiet the whole time and then just bam, Hulk smashes it.
Yeah, she just kind of like.
Which is a plus 1, so 21.
You need to remember to put on your bad side, Willow.
Damn.
Alright, so with that, I'll say, yeah, you guys managed to push the plunger just a little bit as a couple of drops fall out of the other end of the needle and into the bucket.
like a huge one of those buckets from like a water theme park. Is it like that much liquid?
I mean, like, it's about a drop, about yay big.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And were we doing this with the green one or the blue one?
The blue one.
I
There is-
assume the blue
no.
one.
There is no green syringe. There's only blue.
There's only
Good.
the blue ones. There's only the
How
antidote.
How much is in this thing? Is it like full or is it like there's like tiny little bit at the end?
I mean, like, it's about half full.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if the current Khan is taking this, that means he has the ability to use magic and probably the only one with the ability to use magic.
Mhm.
So we
That-
have to be really careful when getting out
That's
and
right.
getting the information to the people. Because we don't
Right.
know
the
what he's
liquid,
capable
does it
of.
smell like anything?
Oh, right. Does it smell like anything?
Make
Does
a
it taste like
perception check.
anything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Make a perception check.
Do it. Yeah, you do it. I want you to do it.
Wait,
What is it?
perception.
What is it? What is
Perception.
it? What'd you do? Gotta tell me.
It's not
I got 19!
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
and Annalise both take a sip of the potion. Okay.
Oh no,
cool.
I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I'm not
it's
drinking.
smelling.
I'm
I'm tasting.
smelling.
No, I'm
Yeah,
tasting.
it's
no.
crazy. Oh
You
my
smell
god.
it, and it smells like a sort of like
To smell like the
sort
light
of like
blue Gatorade.
no, it smells kind of like pine and peppermint. Sort of kind of a smell, like a very, very piney sort of smell to it. Naaman, it does not taste like peppermint. It does not taste like peppermint. It really does not taste like peppermint. Oh my god.
it just
It tastes like you literally
burning
just
spearmint?
chewed on tree bark.
Oh,
Like literally
Oh.
just like, the dirt and the grime and the grit. And
Is he gonna have to make a
No.
Constitution saving throw now to see if he just keeps it down, or does he throw it back up?
No, because he's gonna roll another natural 20, I swear.
That.
No.
I'm just gonna roll.
Was
I'm
it?
kind of glad you didn't go with throw up.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Okay, so you have this information. That means must mean that the sickness that my ancestor cured is now likely spreading towards the entire city.
I've already, most likely, spread already throughout it.
Wait,
If we can get the antidote.
from the taste, does it taste anything like Seikon's tea?
Is it
Vaguely.
pine tea?
Huh?
Vaguely.
Vaguely?
So possibly
Pine.
I think-
Seikon is actually not being affected by this gas?
But more likely, they just happen to use the same ingredient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's pine trees up on that shelf.
But it's
Actually, no,
also
that does-
if it's injected, then
Well-
it's not the same as being ingested.
that does raise a good point. For several years now, Seikon has been living outside of the city. Oh, we don't know the reach of his magical capabilities, if he has any.
That would be something to look into to see if Seikon does have magical affinities.
That would place him as. Oh man. Need to get back.
Yep.
Is there anything else we can get while we're here? I mean, I know we can't pick up any of the books, but is there anything else?
I think, if anything, just wonder if there's really no way to get back home. That doorway is locked, and that's our only entrance back home. Then
I think the
really.
first thing we need to do is get magic back to these people first. Because
Well,
without
the
magic,
first thing we need to do is let Seikon know so he can inform the people. The people aren't going to listen to us. They're going to listen to Seikon.
That's true.
So we need to go before the
Yeah.
con wakes
Oh.
up.
So first things
Is there
first,
a way
I'm
that we
putting
can
the
draw-
bucket in the cart
Yes,
before I
please.
Cart.
spill
Is
anything,
there a way
trying
that
to
we can
climb
draw,
down
like, a
with
quick
this thing.
sketch of what- is there a way that we can probably draw like a quick? Is there a way that we can draw like a quick sketch of what we're seeing here as to the green stuff being ventilated out into the air?
Whoever has the highest performance can make a performance check.
Ooh, let me
5.
see. I actually don't know. I'm curious.
Ooh,
I'm
I
actually
have a
proficient in that.
+4.
Plus
I have a
5.
plus-
plus
okay.
three.
Plus 3
So
as
probably
well.
Naaman.
So, Naaman.
Naaman's actually very crafty.
Yeah.
Actually,
Very
you know what?
crafty.
Didn't you get a feat for
Yes.
this like specific skill? Yes.
I did.
You
Because I
did.
thought it was performance goes into how to, craft and whatnot. But,
But,
okay.
At least it works
I guess
now.
I'm going to use it for drawing.
Yes.
So. Okay,
It's 5.
No.
Oh.
It's a nat
Is it a
20.
Yeah, you draw a very pretty depiction of this room.
Like, I want to bring the camera, like, to see that it's there, but, like, I don't have the cord length for it. Like,
mean,
just
like,
to prove that I'm rolling these high
honestly-
rolls and not
No,
making
it's
this
fine.
shit up, I'm, like, tempted to just say, oh, no, it's a 2 or something. God
Oh my
damn.
god. I mean, like, yeah, we
Voldemort just
believe you.
sees you drawing this is like, wow. You are really talented.
Your lineage is showing.
That's literally what the feat is called, by the way. Is talented.
Oh, right. Okay, well, let's hurry up and get out of here as soon as we can. We've spent too much time.
Okay.
No, the Khan could be waking up any moment.
So you probably
How much
spent
time
about.
has passed?
So you probably
5?
spent about 4, 5-ish hours in the
We
library since you got down
need-
here.
Need to dash, essentially.
Yeah, we need to go.
Get out in time.
We need to book it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take the cart, just go along the side of the wall.
Yes, but also be fast.
Yep.
Very,
Okay.
very
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
how do we know how to close this so that the freaking con doesn't know that we went
I'm
into
assuming you
there?
hit it again. It's
Yes.
probably just you hit it again.
So we'll just Esmer, you're driving again?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to, if you're on your way out and you're in a hurry, you're probably going to go straight there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so straight line, straight across the room, not following the walls or anything. So we're going to make a series of checks just to see how fast you go. So make a check for the Goodberry, please.
And what am I doing? My strength,
It's
dex.
just roll and I'll add it in my head.
Just roll a d20.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. You know what? Maybe I'll get
Blessing of the trickster.
Cute. Oh, do I hear a puppy? Hi, Bobby.
Is there puppies?
I hear.
Oh, that's your puppies.
That's my puppy. He's looking at me like, please, I want ups. I want
Puppies?
Up's good. Uppy's good with puppies.
That kind of reminds me of that TikTok video of uppies. This is Mr. 305. If you don't give me uppies, I will put it all over your feet.
Okay, Bobby. What's the matter? What's the matter, Bobby? I can't find any D20s. This is not a good sign.
I seriously was about to just hand you mine. Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah, here you go.
So
I was about to go, here, use mine.
I've done that on multiple occasions where I
Right?
almost went, here you go.
I love you, Maddie. Just
Don't change.
You're here, right? You're right here in front of me.
Maddie,
Don't be
this is
yourself,
your
Maddie.
sign to start thinking about moving towards the East Coast.
Oh, believe
One
me,
thing
I
we're
am.
missing, so I'm gonna
And
have to go
probably
digital.
bring me with you because I'm on the way.
I'm
Right,
like,
okay.
I wanna get out of California.
Hey, 15.
okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you guys make real good time. You managed to make it through that second room pretty freaking easily. I'm not going to count the laboratory room because it was small and it only took you a couple minutes to get out of there. But you make it through the second library room. Now make another check for me, please.
Oh, God. God, it's a 4.
Ooh.
I should have given you another blessing of the tricksters.
Yeah, it actually worked.
You have 8 on your side.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck it.
You
yeah,
rolled.
this
You
is...
rolled a 4. I rolled a 2. So
No, okay, so I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
die.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
you guys, you move up through the second ramp and through the first library floor, and you're moving up the ramp into the library itself that's underneath the throne. Make one more check for me, please.
Sir.
Blessing of the trickster?
It's a 6. I'm not risking
Okay.
it. I'm using a fate die. I'm not risking it.
Hold up. I've already rolled.
Oh, no.
You did.
Wait for the. I've rolled a 9. You rolled a 6 plus
Us.
The good berry.
plus the good berries stats.
Oh.
Okay. Which
So
is...
you have. What did you roll? A 6?
Yes, I rolled a 6.
You have a total of 10.
Oh my god.
my god! Oh!
Barely at the grit of
This
your
is what
teeth.
happens when
Sneaky.
Esmeralda drives, guys.
We gotta teach some other people to
Swear.
drive.
Every time she drives, the miracles happen. I don't know what it is.
You get there just as the chair itself is already coming back into place, and you get the Goodberry out just in time for the chair to get back into place. You look around to see who activated it, but it seems like the chair was going back on its own.
Oh.
Maybe the
However-
chair's on a timer.
However, there is a faint orange glow just starting to peek through the tops of the
Sunrise.
Yeah. So you
Sunrise. We have
feel
to.
like some
have to
people
get
might
the
be
fuck
waking
out.
up soon.
Right.
So you drive
TTFO!
straight through the middle of the throne room. You don't even bother
Yes.
to go along the walls.
Yes.
One more check.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Stop panicking, everyone. Shut
You
up.
good?
It's a 15, bitch.
Yes. All right. You managed to make it through in just a matter of minutes. You are pedal to the metal, fucking balls out, taking this Goodberry as fast as it can go. And then you get to the door, which is closed.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Hey, can we fit underneath the door that's closed, like the little creak in the door?
You could, the Goodberry can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
The guards
Should we
might
go
still
try
be
to get
out
the
there.
guards to, open the door for us?
Mhm.
No,
I
there
could
are
sneak
guards
under the-
around.
I could go under the door and get them to open the door.
If you want to try that, go
Right.
ahead and make a acrobatics check.
Can I
I'll give her guidance before she goes.
Woo!
Sure.
Okay.
I'll give.
That means I
oh,
get that gives me advantage, right?
No, I'm
It
not.
gives you
gonna-
plus four.
No, it gives you a +4 to your roll.
Fuck.
You have to do,
Okay.
but you have to roll the die, D4.
You roll
Oh.
the d4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that. So I just roll a d4.
I'm actually.
Where are my d4s?
Look for triangles.
I know, I'm trying to.
They're
Oh, there
the
you
ones
are.
you don't want to step on. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I got a 4. Okay, so that's
Nice.
acrobat.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Okay,
was it?
so that's a 8 plus 3.
Plus 4.
No, plus 5. So that's
Plus 5 plus 4, so 8 plus 9.
No. I rolled a 4 on my d20, and then I got another 4 on the d4, plus a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
13.
You managed to squeeze yourself through just fine.
Yeah.
12? It's a little bit tighter for you, but your bow gets stuck for a little bit, and you have to kind of maneuver it, but you manage it. And then you guys, I presume, wave at the guards, get their attention. They open the door. They pick you up, and they kind of put you in a small leather pouch for a minute. And you guys, he kind of just waits there for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then you hear another guard walk up. They exchange some pleasantries. A shift in the posture of the guard whose sack you're sitting in, and he sort of like marches off. You assume that there's some sort of changing of the guard happening here.
Mm-hmm.
As a little while goes by, and then the pouch opens up, and the hand comes and lifts the Goodberry out with you all in or on it, and hands you back to Operam, who immediately takes you out of the city.
my heart is beating out of my chest.
Operon, we have so much to tell you!
Oh, Paran, your
I'm all of a
people are
sudden
in
really happy that my
danger.
boyfriend brought me this. I'm gonna get-
Paran, your people are in danger.
Your
have
people are
so
being
much to tell you.
poisoned.
You're poisoned by your king, by your con.
All right, so you guys get to the shack, and I assume you just explain everything that happens.
Yeah, and I bring out the liquid in the bucket. This, apparently, your king your Khan is putting that into himself, but not the people, because he's poisoning the rest.
This is
Oh,
the
and blah.
antidote for what's being put out into the air.
But they're also making what they're putting out into the air by using the ingredients of their slain dire wolves.
Yes, those dire wolves that your kin slay is literally the ingredients to make this. Not this, but the poison.
Also, what's behind the door?
We'll get to that.
There's also a giant door about this, but we have no idea what it's for.
Yes.
In a secret library
explain
underneath
all
the
that.
throne.
And if no one else has explained it, Von Thorn will also explain to Seikon the descriptions of each of the tapestries to tell basically the story in case he doesn't know it himself.
Again, power word blah.
Yeah,
Also-
everything, including the damaged parts of
Literally.
the tapestries.
How big is the drawing though?
I mean,
Like, is it like?
He's gonna
It's
need like a
small.
magnifying glass.
Yeah.
like, it's big for you, but it's still small for him. So
Is there a way I
Yes.
can imitate it on his table with like some type of giant drawing?
for the sake of time, we'll say that like he can get the general gist of
Like
it.
you with the giant paintbrush.
Yeah.
Takes his a magnifying glass.
Just taking the
Um,
morning to paint a pretty picture.
Anyway, so you guys explain all this to Oparam, and he sits there for a minute. And he's quiet at first. This feels like a lot.
No, right? And we only had like 8 hours.
That this is a lot.
Yes.
As he gets up from his chair and he sort of walks over to a window. It feels like my family was afraid of whatever sits behind this door.
Agreed.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
what they are afraid of, but I do know that some distant boogeyman is no reason to let our people suffer.
Yes.
Especially since magic is literally part of your culture.
Indeed. But that magic could help build safer shelters and improve the lives of all of my people, especially the children, who often do not live through the more difficult seasons. What is your plan for getting back to your people?
Don't
The
know.
only way home seems to be through this door. And what lies
Yeah,
beyond it
we need
may be terrible.
we need magic to be brought back to this land so that we can get back to our mission to save her people.
Khan, my people aren't. I understand that. But believe me when I tell you that you are no way. You are no way. I feel it is your responsibility to open that door to get us. We can find another solution. If your people are in danger, if we open that door, we won't open that door.
It was an Endilian that cured our king long ago. A beloved king who vanquished a great evil, as was demonstrated by the storytelling tapestries that you saw. And it is another Endilian that has brought this information back to the people, to let them choose for themselves whether they would live in fear of the unknown or to stand up and fight. We
Yes.
can help you get back to your home. I will do everything in my power. But first, we need to fight for my home. If
Yeah.
you are willing.
And we will help get this story to your people.
The way we can.
Let them choose.
Oh, he's right though. We have to confront your brother. Your brother might be the only one in the city to be able to fight with magic.
Yes, but if everybody is against him, he's going to be a little outnumbered, even with magic.
Not so sure. What I can do after arrest is I can at least keep him from casting from some time if the spells that he uses, like most spells, which require a verbal incantation.
Like silence?
Yes.
Von Thorn, you would know that innate casting doesn't really require somatic, verbal, or material components. It's
That would actually depend on what kind of magic Azarkon can use. Storm giants, by nature, they don't require a lot of what we require to be able to cast magic. A lot of it they can do non-verbally or without components.
So, would there have to be a way for us to get the antidote to everyone first before we make an attack?
Another
would
thing
have
to
to
add:
direct-
does he ever leave the castle? The Khan.
There are very few reasons for the Seikon to leave the castle, particularly Azarkon.
Well, we have the ingredient list for this. Well, we have the ingredient list for this antidote. Maybe we can replicate it.
You have an abbreviated list. Like I said, if you wanted the actual recipe, it would have taken a couple hours to sit down and copy into a journal and really sit down with it.
We may have to go back and get the full recipe and the full ingredient list.
We might
What
not
we
have
have
that
right now is an
time.
abbreviated version.
For
might-
now,
It's more likely if we
for
could get...
now, why don't we rest? You have had a long night, and I'm sure that you can use some food and some sleep inside your tiny wagon. We will talk about this in the morning. And on that note, we will pick this up next week.
Why are we getting shorter and shorter in sessions?
This week,
That was so long!
it's
Oh.
short because my battery is dying.
not even 9 o'clock.
No.
It's short because my mic battery is actually dying, dying. Could go any minute.
Man.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, sorry guys, but that's
That's
where I'm
alright.
gonna have to end it tonight.
So,
Sorry. I don't know if I have another battery, and we don't exactly have time for me to search my entire mess of a house for me to find it. So,
you suck.
it's your messy house too.
And you
Okay.
still suck.
Till he kills us?
Yeah. Dumb ways to die. Playing in the background of all
So
that.
many dumb ways to die.
Dumb ways
Okay,
to
well,
die.